Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Mindset, 19, 2. Tight into the rock, boy, tight into the rock.
On first down, it's Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. The numbers for Cooks in that game last week: 5 catches, 68 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Looks pretty evident what they want to do. The same connection to start the game on back-to-back throws.
But when you've got a big-time target, you've got to go to him. The flip side is, shouldn't the defense know that? They should be better prepared.
Absolutely. They're going to have to step up and in a hurry. Now, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Earl Thomas in on the stop. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
On 2nd and 7, Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. 3rd and long, it's Watson. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
Check.
They'll run on first down. Swift, and he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans. Well, they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
But we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Looking to throw on second down. Jackson, he'll find Metcalf. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now, the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him out of the end zone.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Watson, and that's complete to Cooks. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Johnson on the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down right around the 16. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not got much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Jackson from the shotgun. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs. Able to improvise and get the first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. As the Ravens push further out in front. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Watson. That's complete to Jake Butt. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Out of the gun, Watson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Mike 53.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Check it out, read.
Watson now to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Back to throw, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. On first down, Swift. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll try the left side. Swift gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Ravens on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6.
Mike 41. We've got to wedge that. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
From the gun, Jackson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how do we
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
He's not going to get me. Hey, 4-1's Mike. 4-1's Mike.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. That'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
41 to Mike. 41 to Mike. Check 41. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. Check 9. Hayward.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
3 down. 41 Mike. Right here. 41 Mike. Got him. 41's the Mike. Watch a slack.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try to make some plays in their backfield.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it.
And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got Snead. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the 2nd half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the 2nd half.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On the ground, this is Johnson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Let's go.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, it's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 49 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans cut into that lead. Well, it was 2nd and goal. You're in there close. That's the fullback's comfort zone.
Not only is it his comfort zone, it's an expectation. That's what he's supposed to.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They'll come out in the pistol. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. They'll run it with Johnson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Back now in Houston. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Right here, 41 Mike. Check curls, check curls.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Got him in. It's Brown. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They'll try to run this one in. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. To throw is Watson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Here's Bryan Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. From the 45 on second down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
False start, offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
It's complete to Snead. And the ball is knocked out. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Jackson now. And an alley to run. A nifty bit. Yards, first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Jackson from the shotgun. This will be caught at about the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Here's Jackson. The quick slant caught. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And this was about as close to a shutout as you could get. I mean, barring a game where you only allow a safety, but this was the next best thing, just the field goal. That's all they gave up.
Yeah, and you know something, they're going to be disappointed because they gave up the field goal. But deep inside, somewhat satisfied as well because you know